All right, all right, all right. I think we are live. Can you guys see me? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? Okay. I'm sure it's live. Let's just go watch myself because, Oh, there we go. We got 11 people. You guys can see me. Fantastic. All right, guys. Welcome to our Katana watch as we are crossing $62,000. $62,000. But this moment where we are today, it's crucial to be centered. It's crucial to be calm. It's crucial to not get on the emotional roller coaster. If you're feeling things, stop it. Stop it. Enough with the feelings. All right, we'll feel later on. We'll feel happy when we're happy. But right now, eyes on the prize, execute. So we are going to start this stream with a quiet meditation. Well, it's not really quiet, but a meditation. Okay? We're going to close our eyes. We're going to listen to some beautiful music. I'm not going to guide you. Just be. And whatever thoughts are there, whatever is running on autopilot, is it going to happen? This is it. Oh, my, I got. Like, stop. Not even stop. Sit like you're sitting on the side of a road. And on the road, the cars are your thoughts. And watch your thoughts go by without chasing them, without judging them or chasing them. You don't stop cars on a road, but be your consciousness sitting on the side, witnessing your thoughts. Okay. And just enjoy this. Give me a little signal if you guys can hear this. Just taking that moment to center yourself. Yes, Dan, you missed everything. You missed our meditation. Just taking that moment to center yourself in the center of the storm is everything. Okay, yes, Bitcoin's hit a level. So what? It's hit a level before. It's crashing. So what? It has crashed before. It's just a number on a screen. For me to have my emotions be run by this number on a screen is me failing the entire game. That's not the point. So whenever in this process you're feeling that emotional charge, remember that's not you. It's not only you. And it's not you putting it in there. It's somebody putting the emotional charge in there to you. It's somebody putting the emotional charge in there. Don't worry, we'll have more meditations. You'll be fine. It's a mass psychosis that happens of panic. And when you're in a state of panic or state of emotion, that's not when decisions are to be made. Never make decisions in a state of emotion. If you're too happy and if you're euphoric in a relationship, never get married. If you're angry at somebody, don't react to them. A centered state is much more better to operate, much more better, goodest. A center state is the much more better, goodest place to it, talking, doing, you know? And then you realize, oh, okay, everything's still fine. Everything's still totally fine. And then we watch the markets. Okay. What's going on in Z markets? First of all, before I even go there, remember, money goes from somebody's bank account to somebody's bank account, from the buyer's bank account to the seller's bank account. Right now, there's a ton of money that needs to go to SpaceX. His bank account, SpaceX's bank account, or at least the liquidity provider's bank account. Where's it going to come from? It has to go from somebody's bank account. So now they're dumping the Bitcoin price and convincing people everything is going to crash. So people are taking their Bitcoin and selling it, right? And somebody is giving them the money. So it's like somebody sells Bitcoin at 72K. They did. And that person got the money. And the first person probably lost money. The seller probably lost money. Then next person does it for less. Next person sells it for less. Next person sells it for less. And now we're having this problem of that wealth transfer. People are pulling Bitcoin out of their wallets at a loss, and they're giving it to a guy because that person is sending them money from their bank account, and that is dropping prices constantly. Now, that person who's sending you the money is benefiting, right? It's not like they're making your money. The one person lost money. The other person doesn't make their money. Their money was already made by the guy who they bought it from in the first place, right? Somebody else already made the money. So now the seller is losing money and the buyer's not losing money, but they're not making money. They're making Bitcoin, right? Now, in that process, the person who sold the Bitcoin at the top already is the one going and buying SpaceX. The seller of the Bitcoin is not buying SpaceX. The buyer of the Bitcoin right now is not buying SpaceX because they spent their money on, just as a thought exercise, they spent their money on this Bitcoin. The person who pulled the fast one on everyone 8 months ago took it and bought SpaceX and well before we could even access it. That's what's actually going on. Now we're watching these markets bleed. Now we're watching tech stocks bleed. Now we're watching, there's a bunch of turnarounds happening, and it's still another 8 days before SpaceX launches. Then it's Anthropic. Then it's OpenAI. We're having multi-trillion-dollar launches that are happening right now. That means the stock market is probably going to stay high for a long period of time. is probably going to chop around while all of this happens, stays close to all-time highs while all this happens. It should. They normally don't crash the markets when these IPOs are happening. Bitcoin is Bitcoin, right? October 10th, Bitcoin pulled a 1010, had the biggest crash of its entire history, while the stock market was perfectly fine. So Bitcoin can just go and do whatever it does ahead of time. It doesn't always have to follow the stock market. It has not been following the stock market, and it's probably predicting the outcome that's going to happen in the stock market after all of these launches happen. So that's what Bitcoin's doing in my perspective. Right now, we're looking at this. So remember we were watching it earlier on that very short stream that I did, the quick sprint of a stream that we did, and watched this price action go down, and it was like, cool, now the indicator's turning around. And this was actually right here at that time. This is when I made the decision to go to sleep after a 20-something hour day. But the indicator was saying, hey, things are going to cool down. Things are relaxing. It's time to go to sleep. It's probably not going to continue to crash. The price went up. I slept all these hours. It came back down, bounced. I was sleeping. Still, the price kind of hung out in a certain zone. Even then, it created a little bit of a bullish divergence like this, where the price was going down and the indicator is going up slightly, but still. Remember those big momentum waves that we had spoken about? Oh, let's just keep it like this. It's easier for you guys to see it. Those momentum waves we were talking about. We had the big momentum wave, and by the time why does this thing? We had the big momentum wave. Now I can't see where I am. We had the big negative momentum wave, right? Which gets covered up every time I friggin' do this. Okay. Yeah. So there was this big momentum wave. We waded through it. We waded through this one. And then by the time we got to here, this place, oh no, we got to here, you could already start to see that the negative momentum was starting to slow down, right? Money flow, we couldn't really tell if it was going to slow down, but the negative momentum was starting to slow down. And then it did create a smaller wave, and you can see the reduction of momentum. Then it went positive for a second, less positive, and then it went negative again. So this is the rhythm and flow of markets. Let's turn this off for now. This is the rhythm and flow of markets. This is the ebb and flow. This is the momentum of the liquidity going one way, momentum of the liquidity going the other way. A trades adds up this momentum effectively, and the cumulative momentum is a much better signal. But the point is, I got to sleep. From here to here, I got to sleep, right? Thankfully, the rest of it continued for some time, and then I was like, oh, cool, there's positive divergence. Things should go up, and they did, right? Right here, it was saying things should go up, and they did. And then all of that's done and finished, and now we're on the next leg. And the level we've been watching the whole time, it feels like for our entire life we've been watching this level, is this level. 62. Technically, the level is 62. What is it at? 62,788. And on this chart that I'm looking at, that is the bottom of the body of this wick, body of this candle. This pointy thing's the wick. The candle is the square thing. Anything below that, and we're effectively off to the races. It has to confirm below that, sure, on the daily, which means it should happen by tomorrow. But if we properly stay below that, look out below. The way this move is looking, this might be the Katana, because that's how a Katana should look. Hanging out, goodbye. No, like it didn't even give a chance to look back. Right back here, this was a confirmation. That wasn't even a confirmation. That was my intuition information. That was my spidey senses. After that, it just turned and it never looked back. It has turned and it might not look back. Bitcoin isn't one of those like romantics from the movies where it looks back at you. No. Once it's gone, it's gone. It's like me. Once it's gone, it's gone. Ain't no looking back. You lost it. Okay. Then let's zoom in. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. We are below that level. The bulls are trying to fight. They're trying to do their best to use their horns to push it up. That's actually one of the reasons why they call it bulls and bears, because bulls go attack up, bears attack down. It's also just so that the average person can't understand the language. That's why Wall Street always made it like that. Bulls are fighting the level. The momentum is negative, right? You can see this blue wave down here. Momentum is negative. This wave is bigger than these waves, or at least this wave. And it's staying flatter than this wave, which means there's more negative momentum in this wave. The money flow is bleeding out, as you can see, the red. The VWAP is negative. RSIs are bottomed out, but they do just they can just continue to bounce and we can continue to go down. The indicator, my hybrid indicator, has reset, so that's why it's being given some time to go up again, and then it'll dump again. That likely means that we continue to go down further. In the meantime, today we're enjoying A2 protein kefir. You see, milk has different proteins. Like, different cows have different proteins. If you drink A1 protein stuff, it's harder to digest, and for lactose intolerant people, you just can't. A2 protein is much easier to digest because it doesn't have a step that it has to go through to be digested, which means it's better. So, and kefir has a special probiotic composition compared to yogurt. This is breakfast on the go. Okay. Bulls are fighting it. Let them fight. In the meantime, I have made more money because the rupiah has gone up further. Congratulations. Anybody who's in Bali, congratulations. We just made more money last night by sleeping. Great work. Good job on the sleeping. That others BTC chart that we had been following, that I was saying, hey, this is the level that it's going to, it's breaking out of that properly. So this is a channel that I was following the whole time. I mean, I could try to move this line just to make it so that I can make up whatever. Oh, look at that. I moved the line. Oh, that's way better. I'm so smart now. I'm like almost like a super genius of some kind, because I can move the line, just make up whatever line I want. Because I'm a trader. There's an infinite number of lines I can draw. Look at that. Now I fixed it. Now it's within the channel. Now I'm right again. I wish life worked like that. But regardless, we are at some kind of a edge. We're at the precipice. This is basically signifying everything other than the top 10 priced in Bitcoin. And it should follow this range. It tends to follow this range, even if it goes outside for some time like it did here, according to the way I drew the line now. It is possible that it should turn around. The parabolicity of this move should not continue. But let's see. The war is back on. By the way, you remember that time when oil went to minus $37? Just look at this on this chart. This is the oil chart. At one point, oil went to negative $37. You had to pay somebody $37 to sell them oil. That could happen to Bitcoin. Negative $37,000 Bitcoin can go to. And if you're like, no, that's impossible. That's exactly what people said about oil, a physical thing one of the biggest markets on earth that never doesn't have demand, that thing went negative. And you're talking about a thing that has no use case. It's a lottery ticket that we just hallucinated. That is a ledger entry. That thing can't go negative. We are in a different world. So I have accepted that if I ever saw Bitcoin negative, I would buy it. Buy it. Yeah. Right? Because I'm not going to sit there and go, oh my God, what happened? This is impossible. My paradigm could never accept. You're wasting time. Okay, fine. It goes negative. I don't care. If I never thought an asset could go negative until it did in my lifetime, right? Okay. We are in oil. We're bouncing around the zone. It's going to pop at some point. That pop happened sometime in June. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin is predicting that pop. Crypto is predicting that pop as we speak. MicroStrategy is not teetering on the edge. This is the edge, $104. It's not teetering on the edge. But MicroStrategy is going to dump a lot of Bitcoin. Like this was them vaccinating you for it and inoculating you, like he said, for it. But they're going to have to dump a lot of Bitcoin. And the goal is to get them to dump and the ETFs to dump and everybody to dump, because that creates a cascade. When they dump, then everybody who's been longing the market, they have to short the market and they have to dump. That dump creates an even further cascade. People start to have liquidations, which means they're about to lose all their money. When they start to get liquidated, they start to dump, and everybody dumps into it at the same time, while the likes of Binance and whoever's in the background dumping today continues to fuel that process. They even don't have to fuel it. Like they have to spark it from the beginning, and then it crashes. So MicroStrategy, not close to a critical level, but momentum is negative. Money flow has gone just slightly negative now, and their move is starting. They can continue to try to mess around a bit, but it's the piper has called. Ethereum broke down below that level while I was sleeping, but then bounced, and now it has clearly gone below that critical level. On the hourly, it's below. On the daily, it's below. And when this candle here, today's square thingy-majiggy, the bottom of the square thingy-majiggy is below the pointy stick thingy of this thingy-majiggy. I like to translate. So this is the wick, right? The pointy stick thing. If the square thing goes below the pointy stick thing and it closes there, which means the next candle starts, that is confirmation of this breakdown, right? Sometimes it goes down and then turns around and runs away. That's why you want to wait until the next day to have full confirmation. If you're a trader, if you're a Katana catcher, you never wait for confirmation. That's the whole point. But on the 15-minute chart, our sport watching chart, it has broken down. Momentum this is a pretty significant first negative momentum wave. Money flow the trend of money flow bleeding out is getting worse, which means it's bleeding out more and more. This negative momentum wave, if more money is bleeding out, then it should be bigger than this one because there's more money bleeding out. So do I think it's going to turn around and go above? No, I think this is the breakdown for this. XRP, same thing, right? Had a little positive momentum here, a little bit of a relief. RSI's reset, my indicator resets, and then one big negative momentum wave to start the process. Well, I guess two little ones that make one big wave in my mind. And the money starts to bleed out with that. And then now money's bleeding out more. Same story. But we're below this 121 critical level. Okay. Solana. Uh-oh. Solana already hit its next critical level. It fell below the level the last time we were Katana watching the Night's Watch was watching, and it already hit the next critical level that I drew out then. And now we have 59 as the next critical level. And after 59, we have 0 as the next critical level. Nah, I just kidding. Relax. We have negative 37 as the next critical level. Okay, then it's like you could draw it here, you could draw it here. I'm just going to put it here because at that point, let's just let it fall. Okay. And these are the levels we're looking at. We have already bazookaed through one of them, the first one. We have stabbed the next one here. And we are due for 59, then 32. 32, I'm happy to buy Katana. Solana. The Solana Katana, I wanna. I'm trying to. But it's not a banana. All right, we have bounced off this level. Do I think we go further? What do you think? Read this and tell me what you think. Do you think we go further down? What does this data tell you now that you are proficient at these things? Obviously, yes. Solana is doing worse than Ethereum, worse than Bitcoin, worse than XRP. It should. It's a newer coin. It's more risky. But Solana is doing worse than the others market. That's the wrong one. Solana is doing worse than the others market, which is everything other than the top 10, which is supposed to be the super risky coins. This has never happened before. What's happening right now has never happened before. But we've been discussing this. This has never happened before is a term that we're going to keep using a lot more, right? Eesh. Eesh. We go to 260 tomorrow. Yeah. Bet on it. This font doesn't look... It's a little too stylish. Oh, no. I can't even change it? Okay, well. That's what you guys are getting now. Congratulations. Maybe I can change it. Visuals. Nope. Doesn't seem like it. Never mind. Congratulations. You guys are getting this chicken scratch handwriting versions of things. We are. It's not outperforming the others market cap, which is very, very surprising, but also a new piece of information that we can add into our repertoire to be able to see, okay, some kind of different dynamic is playing out, which is telling me they're selling Bitcoin, they're selling Ethereum, they're selling XRP, they're selling Solana, they're selling everything. Somebody is selling everything. Yet, at least they're not selling the other ones, right? That doesn't mean these are the ones to go to. To me, that means they're going to crush this thing. Like, first of all, look at this momentum down here, right? Look at this momentum down here. Okay? You see the normalcy of the momentum? This is normal, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. You see the sometimes it gets small and then big and then smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. But overall, it has kind of a normalcy to it. Now look at this. Find me a place where you have these tiny, tiny, tiny little waves for this long hanging out. Since middle of May until June, so 2 weeks. Find me another place where there's this price action happening. It's going it's kind of vibrating around the center. You can't. And this is now multiple bull runs that we're looking at. So this is market control. Markets don't behave like this. They don't just hang out in a specific zone. All the humans just decide, yeah, we're only going to trade here. Bitcoin's crashing. everything's crashing. Oh my God, bloodbath style crashing. But we're just going to keep doing this. Let's not let the prices move, guys. Let's all the degens who normally freak the fuck out, let's all decide that we're going to be a stable market. No, that's just not how the world works. So this is a signal of manipulation that you can see. Let's see if Market Cipher picks up a manipulative exercise. No, it doesn't. It usually picks it up on dumps. So you can tell this is fake. This, what's happening on others, is fake. So I don't fall for it, right? I mostly don't fall for things, except for all those things that I fell for. It's gonna fall. Speaking of falling, I know if I keep doing this, I'm gonna fuck this up and it's gonna fall. Okay. This is a trick that's happening right now. Do not fall for it. If anything, if I have like butt coin, fart coin, tit coin, shit coin, whatever version of some vulgar excretive coin you have, I have. If I have that coin, I dump it. I poop on it. I take a dump on it. How is hype holding up so strong in this storm? Maybe somebody's artificially inflating it to get all the dummies to go into hype so they can dump it on them. Because dummies chase what's pumping, right? Geniuses chase dumps, dummies chase pumps. So they know when there's one thing that's green, everything's red, all the morons are going to go over there. All the useless people are going to go over there, right? Yes, these are actual words to describe the people, because if that's how you behave, you are a moron. You are useless. You are the exit liquidity. You deserve to lose all of your money. Like, it's just a fact of life. We are all adults. We make our decisions. If my behavior is conducive to me getting hurt in a certain way, then it is my fault that my behavior causes that, right? And to be like, the system manipulates me. Well, how old are you? How old are you? You're still talking about systems? Bernardo's offended. Look at this. He's offended. The snowflake. Jesus Christ. This is the thing. Like, it's everything else is everybody else's fault, but you are right that it's not your fault. 100%, man. I take back my words that every single thing that's happened to my life has happened because I did it, except for the bad things. That was my parents. Trauma. That was trauma. I was traumatized by my dad because he didn't hug me because he had to get a job. Yeah, the market makers. It's the market makers. That's who it is. Those guys. Who are the market makers? I don't know. I didn't even know somebody made markets. I thought like it was immaculate conception of markets. I don't own any useless, by the way, anymore. It's okay. Like, look, you could own it perfectly fine. I have, when I say these things, I'm not judging the people who own it or not, right? I'm giving my perspective on things. There's people can have things, but the fact that you dumped it, you're a smart guy, right? So yeah, take money, right? So you've taken that money, okay? First of all, good job taking that money. Ooh, but the Bulls have won through the level. The Bulls have won through the level. But just because the Bulls fight through a level doesn't mean it, the war is done. So another thing about perspectives is we can take time-based perspectives. So on the 15-minute chart, the momentum looks like this. It tells us a story. But if I want to be able to foretell the future a little bit further, I go to the hourly chart, and that's telling me a different story now, isn't it? Right? It's telling me a different story. Because I had this negative momentum wave, the anchor wave, let's say, to start the process. Then this is the big wave, right? So remember I was saying I see these as the same wave. It's because I'm looking, I can kind of, I guess this is the same wave that I'm saying I would be combined version. But when you zoom out, you can see, okay, cool. The money flow started to go negative. It's really negative still. This was a pretty big negative momentum wave. This wave could be bigger because it seems to be going lower. Okay. This wave could be bigger because it seems to be going lower. See that? Below this peak. Now, this light blue is the fast momentum, and the dark blue is the slow momentum. So when we see this green dot, that means the fast momentum is crossing over the slow momentum. It just means that the momentum is peaking out. Negative momentum is peaking out negatively, and it should turn around. Now, you got a dot there, but it didn't turn around. Then you got a dot there, it didn't turn around. So it's not a guarantee, but it's just a way of visually being able to see what I'm talking about. So looking at this now, we've had this big wave of negative momentum. Things are going down. Good for us, bad for everybody else. So this wave is probably going to take some time to complete. Like if I had to draw this wave out, if this wave took from 6 a.m. June 26th to 12 June 3rd. So it took 2 days effectively to finish. This wave could take 2 days to finish. Or it might be a smaller wave. Who knows, right? But it tells me, okay, this price action is going to continue or should continue. Okay. Then we can go to the 2-hour, 4-hour, 8-hour, 12-hour chart. Instead of the daily, the 12-hour chart saying, yeah, this is just starting. Right? Just go through it. The 8-hour chart saying, yeah, okay, things are getting worse, but it probably gets much worse. See, like you're seeing a bit of a negative. You got 1, 2, 3 negative, a little tiny positive, and then 1, 2, 3 negative, a little tiny positive, maybe, right? If that repeated. 12 hours saying, yeah, we're just getting started, right? 12 hours saying this. Oh, the negative money flow just started. We had all this money flowing in. Now the momentum is starting to go. Now we're getting pretty serious negative momentum, but we hang out. It's gonna be a bit. The daily's saying, hey, we just started to bleed money. Right? Sure, if you zoom into this little part, which you now cannot even see, that whole thing we're looking at is right here. This little red sliver right here is what we're actually zooming into when we zoom in. This little red part, right? But when in doubt, zoom out. This was the previous crashing process. Okay, this was the negative momentum, proper wave, tops out. We had this, like the top, right around where the momentum topped out is where the price bottomed out. Or, when the momentum bottomed out, the price bottomed out. So, effectively, like right here is where, right around here actually, is where, what was the date? 5th of February. Okay, so right here is where the bottom was. Now, if you compare these two, well, this looks like the formation of this, right? This looks like the February crash happening. So when this peaks out, obviously this is on the daily, so it takes time, it takes days for this data to come through. But the idea is we're seeing the same kind of move. The money had started to bleed out then. By the time the money had started to bleed out, it was 4 days later that the actual bottom happened. Right now, money has started to bleed out, looks the same. We turned red on this bottom indicator right here, which is effectively the money flow in out indicator. We have now done the same thing. So history is repeating itself. So maybe it's 4 days away, but we are in the same part of history. The bulls are still winning Bitcoin above that level, fighting for their lives. They're fighting for their lives. The bulls. Solana above 67 is all right, but it's going below at some point. Let's just see when. The doggy coin, the doggy coin busted through as well. Now that is interesting on the doggy. Because the dog, why is that there? Should be there. Because the dog is already pretty bottomed out. So even with a corrected level, yep. It broke below. It didn't confirm below. It didn't have another candle that printed beyond this candle. See, it broke below. Everybody goes, "Oh my God, run for your lives!" And then people sell here, and that's you. That if the market's going to turn around, that's when the market turns around and runs away on you, and the person's left holding their precious few dollars as if they actually, as if that's a good trade. But the dog has broken below. It's broken below. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. On the momentum, the money flow, you can kind of see effectively the same story as everything else. The waves look a little different, but not too different. Is it worth setting up low limit buy in case there is a quick drop like in October? Yes. So that is what the auto Katana is. Okay. Actually, you guys want to see the Katana? Like, you want to see the literal Katana itself? This purple line right here is the live Katana trigger. Like that. If I was to move that line up right now, that would actually trigger the buy right now live. So yes, I have a level set. I have it set so low that if it's for some reason dropped to that level while I wasn't here, I would never be mad if I bought at that level and it still went down to 30, 50, 40, 30. I wouldn't care, because a 66-cent XRP in its historical perspective, when its top is $3.80 from 2017, and it's going to go to some insane multiple of that top this time around. I'm not a greedy person. I'll take a 5x, 6x to the previous top, and then I'm happy to take them 60x to wherever it's going to go to catch it from there, right? So yes, there is a level already set. Yes, you should set it, but I always set it so low that it's too low, effectively. Not even too low, but it's like critical levels, like $30 Solana, $37,000 Bitcoin, $1,000 Ethereum, stuff like that. So levels where if I'm not there, it happens. Otherwise, I manually trigger, right? Now, is XRP going to go to 66 cents? Almost certainly. Almost certainly. This time around, it might bounce around this 80-ish cent zone. By the final Katana, it'll probably go below 66 cents for sure. Not for sure, but for sure enough, kind of, sort of, maybe. Maybe, baby, But that is literally the live auto-triggered Katana. And that is also how I'm going to trigger it. But this then flows to the systems and propagates through all the different trading systems, and there's a whole bunch of shit that happens in the background to make this happen. It's not like you just put this line and you're like, I'm good to go. Like if you're a coder, webhooks and stuff, for sure you can do that. You use webhooks to actually trigger all this stuff. If you want me to call this thing a thingy, pokey thingy, and a square thingy, good luck. Going back to life, back to reality. Oh, I haven't heard that song for a long time. Okay. Where were we? Bitcoin dominance is going up. No, that's not Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is going down. While Bitcoin is crashing, Bitcoin dominance is going down. That should tell you people are preferring things other than Bitcoin. The market is telling you, facts are telling you, people who understand the game are preferring other things than Bitcoin. Yet you are probably in your paradigm convinced that you should buy Bitcoin now, because you saw the history of what Bitcoin did. But that is not what the market is doing. That is not what smart money is doing. That is not what the data is doing. Bitcoin dominance is falling while Bitcoin is falling, which is very rare. I don't think I've seen it in my time with this kind of a crash for this to happen. That is why this is the time I'm even more confident that I don't want to buy Bitcoin, because clearly we roll with the whales. We're not here to roll with the shrimp or the plankton or what's smaller than plankton, whatever. The totals chart, same thing. The whole market is painting a picture. But right now, the market's kind of going like this, right? The top 10 are going down, and the everything else, it's like the uselesses and they're either standing still or pumping. Hype. I mean, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put hype on my list as well, just because there's a lot of hype around hype. Oh wow! So you're telling me Wall Street needed money, and they have a button they can click in January of 2026, where they can then make 268% on their money right before the SpaceX launch or all these launches, and they make something go parabolic because they are already trading all this stuff on hype. So why is it pumping? Because somebody needs money. Somebody needs your money. Would you like to support Elon Musk? Please buy hype. Man, he needs our money. He's suffering right now. That man he's in a rough spot. We need to give him $2,000 billion. No, it's actually 70. We're only giving him $75,000 million. Like, we're not going to give him $2,000 billion. That would be too much. So we're only giving him $75,000 million. That's cool. And you know who's giving him $75,000 million? Who has $75,000 million to give him? The hypers, right? There's a great project called Sui. Wow, really? Sweet. It's the future of finance. Absolutely is. And they have a great team, the Facebook team. They've always done really good things, Facebook. So they have a Facebook team. And they have wallets where when you sign up for a project, like, you guys remember that fucking Swarms project that I helped everybody get into? I had given them my Tangem wallet as a wallet address, thinking like, hey, Sui just works, right? I was like, Sui, I'm thinking it's all normal. They sent all those bots, whatever the bots that they were giving people. I was being gifted bots because people were buying bots. They sent all those bots to my Tangem wallet, and I can't even access it. I wasn't gonna access it, but I can't even access it. Sui doesn't even show up. Like, Sui shows up, but the coin doesn't show up. I can't add a custom coin. They're like, no, Sui is completely different. We can't even support it. It doesn't work with Wallet Connect. It doesn't work with any of the existing infrastructure. You're fucked. And they were like, oh, just take your seed phrase and type it into another wallet. And I'm like, guys, I don't have a fucking seed phrase. You know how many hackers I always have trying to attack me? I don't have a seed phrase. They have to come find me and fucking get through these guns and my left kick to actually take any money from me. And they're like, oh, well, then you can't recover it because it's stuck on a wallet without a seed phrase, and the wallet doesn't support it. And we're never going to support Sui in that way because it's way too complicated to build. And I'm like, wait a minute. In crypto, it's way too complicated to build, bro. We fucking have like a couple Indians that are building. On Sui, it's too complicated to build. Where it's being presented by some experts as like it's the future, it's super seamless, But actually, the people who are using it are not able to use it. And now I have like, I don't even remember how many they sent. Like, first of all, you guys fucking went crazy with that. Okay, you guys are nuts. You people are nuts. Yes, you people. I was like, hey, this is a new project, risk, We brought on the founder. We showed you guys all the stuff. I was like, hey, don't take too much risk, okay? Don't take too much risk. You guys put $250,000 into that project. And when they told me, I was like, who the fuck did that? I told you guys to do like, we could lose all our money type of sitch. But apparently you guys put $250,000 in. And then everybody got pre-launch tokens. Everybody got fuck tons of stuff. And those of you that actually dumped it at launch instead of like waiting for the redemption, then falling for the fucking scam, which I told you not constantly, those of you that dumped it at launch crushed it. So sure, I guess, yeah, you put a decent bit of money in, you make a decent bit of money. But I was shocked. I was like, guys, like, This is high risk. But then again, you're all degens. We're all degens, right? So, anyways, all those bots are stuck. Sui sucks. Okay, Sui as a technology sucks. Like, those guys, I don't know what the fuck they're up to, but they're not built the way that Web3 is built, where we all build it open and easy and simple and seamless and all this kind of stuff. Is it going to do good? Yeah, because Raul's fucking going to pump it, right? Like, everybody who listens to him is going to pump it. It's low float. And the people who listen to Raul, like, we're the brokies that listen to Raul. There's some, like, hedge fund managers. They used to listen to Raul. Let me correct that. There's sovereign wealth funds that used to listen to Raul. Until I got that email saying, hey, would you like to sign up for Global Macro Investor? We're giving a massive discount on it. And I was like, oh, no. That's rough, you know? But, yeah, it's still going to do it. Am I bitter about spending $75,000 on $80,000 on Real Vision and being kicked out? Not at all. Who would be? Fuck those guys. I'm just kidding. It is life, you know, whatever. Like, I don't get bitter about shit, especially about money. Like, who gives a fuck? It's just numbers on a screen. First of all, 80 grand to meet all of you that came from Real Vision and have be over here, right? And brass tacks, paying 80 grand to have an extra $9 million show up of capital into excellency. I mean, that what a bargain. Even more than that, I got the best people from Real Vision. I got all the tinfoil hatters, the spiritual people, the, you know, meditators, the lovers, all the stuff. Like, I got to filter out Real Vision and bring over the best, including like moderators from Real Vision. All the gold, I like panned the gold from Real Vision and it titrated over. And one of the funniest things is when now that I changed the chat name to Beyond Crypto, you know, I did that because people were like, hey, this is supposed to be a crypto chat. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Okay? Boot. Like, this is not supposed to be supposed to be. This is my chat. But I changed it to Beyond Crypto chat because we're about beyond crypto. Like, crypto is just a stepping stone to us. We're about consciousness, life, and fucking, you know, yeah, fucking consciousness, fuckers, right? But like, whenever we start to go off on our like whatever talks, I see people leave and I'm so happy. I'm like, yeah, bye. Please, like, follow that other channel where we only post crypto stuff if you're just about crypto. If you can't have genuine, heartfelt conversations, please, the door is that way. So we're always having people filter out and come back in. That puts a great perspective on my feelings about the alpha sub from Real Vision. Thank you. Yeah, it's like it's if you're somebody who doesn't understand finance at all and you would like to understand the macro finance, then I would only listen to Jamie. Julian's good too. Like Julian's good, but he's a little too like he's a sycophant for Raul. It's always just Raul's right. Raul's right. You'll never disagree with Raul because you're not allowed to disagree with. This is the thing. You're not allowed to disagree with Raul in Real Vision. It's illegal. It's in the contract. You can't disagree with them. Who was there? It was Nando, I think, said that. Or one of the OSF or Nando, one of them said that. And it's in the contract. You can't disagree with them. Even, like Julian Brigden disagreed with Raul, who was Raul's buddy. Like Raul and him were like really good fucking friends for a very long period of time. Started from the bottom, now we're here. And he was at the moment Brigden disagreed and actually proved through the katana of the Japanese yen catch that he was right. Raul kicked him out because of ego. Nobody's allowed to disagree. So Julian Battelle doesn't disagree with him at all. He will always just paint his picture and then he goes, blame me, don't blame him, blame me. I did this wrong. So please leave our Messiah alone because he's never allowed to be alone. He's infallible. And he will very, 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 very rarely admit that he's fucking wrong. I like that apology that he wrote. But Jamie has his own perspective. Jamie thinks in his own way. Jamie has his own thing. Jamie has his own research service now. He's smart. He started his own research service because You never know if you're next in the line. You get same to next, right? But Jamie's perspective is much more reliable to learn what's going on. Now, Jamie's perspective is much more reliable to actually use to buy and sell as well, right? Is it what I like to do? No, but I do inform myself from it, for sure. Andreas's portfolio has been working too. Listen, I never listened to Andreas. Never listened to him. Every single time I listen to them, they're like, "We don't think that this war will happen." And who's that fat guy that comes with them, right? Like, they just sit there and they're like super traditional thinkers in a world which just doesn't make sense. Sometimes it might be good, sometimes it might be shit. That's the best, most accurate advice they give, right? And at least they say that. I never listen to him. His macro framework is exactly opposite of how I think. I think war, bloodshed, is Tuesday. They're like, it'll never happen. Oh, this will never happen. And it just never works. Maybe it's working now. Maybe you're telling a joke. I don't know. But either way, definitely stay away from that perspective. But also nowadays, there's way better information just openly available on YouTube, openly available on other places. You don't realize how much of an echo chamber it is being in there. Like, now that I have escaped, like, the levels of freedom, the levels of mental peace I enjoy is amazing. But that's also because I don't have social media. If you're somebody who has social media and does all this shit and is in that fucking molasses soup of garbage, disgusting energy, fucking flooding your mind with vibrations that destroy your understanding of reality, then going into an echo chamber like Real Vision's like such a blessing, because that community is fucking amazing. Like, I'll be honest, out of all the crypto communities I've been to, that Discord was my favorite. I mean, our community is the fucking best, of course, but that's, that would be me pumping my own tires. But beyond that, that Discord was the safest place that I found on the internet, actually. Can you believe that? So many people get scammed on there, but that's nothing compared to Twitter, right? I just did a couple live streams and they personally try to scam me. Hey, scammers, alert. I'm going to do a whole scam. I'm going to do a message to scammers. Scammers, first of all, you can't even listen because this is unlisted. This is only available to the people in our community, okay? When you watch this stream, scammers, when your AI scans it, scammer AI, tell your scammer user, I don't have money. I don't have the money in this excellency, okay? I can't touch it. I don't have the logins. I don't have it in an account. It's not with me, right? It's with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people whose money it is, and they have it. I literally can't touch it, okay? Even if you were to hack my devices, there's no phrase you can find to actually take the money that I do have, which is pennies. Like, me as a person, I have no money. I literally have no money as a person. I never have money as a person. Whatever some company somewhere decides to give me as money to spend as like the pennies so I can pay for my $600 of lifestyle is not in a phrase that you can steal. It's on a card that's in my wallet. Okay, it's a Tangem card that's in my wallet. Come take it. Other than that, you can't take the money. There's nowhere to take the money for anybody. This is how I built it. My team can't take it. I can't take it. You can't take it. Somebody's going to have to show the fuck up with some fisticuffs and throw down with me to take like few $1,000s. I own nothing, motherfuckers. and then you'll have the people that we send after you. The 3-letter agencies that chase you down, our people, government level people. And like, then you see who you're really fucking with over a couple $1,000s. Okay, just a message to you. And I know you guys had to sit through this message. They're going to watch it. They watch everything. All right, back to the price section. Still fighting that level. Okay, volatility has now tapped exactly that level that we had painted before. Remember I was saying, like, if I had to guess, volatility should go and tap that level. Another guess that's right. What does that mean? Well, it means whatever you make it, first of all. Meaning is not innate in the universe. Remember that. The universe does not come with an innate meaning built in at all. We derive meaning from the universe. So these lines could mean anything to anybody. You could derive whatever meaning you want from anybody, right? So, oh yeah, I installed this. I forgot. Okay, so here we had these waves, right? And then it pumped. Then it went nuts. Here, we kind of just, we were going down, we're going down, we're going down, and it's just go, that's what I mean by the violence of the move, right? That's why when you guys keep asking me, what's the level, what's the price level, like, it's so funny to me that, like, my own brothers fucking that have been with me for this long still ask me the same question, because it's like, it just doesn't click for people. Like, how do I make the decision? It's the violence of the move. What does violence of the move mean? Like, it punches me in the face? Yeah, partially. Violence of the move means if it just goes from standstill to rocket, that's a violent move, right? Like, imagine I'm standing with you and I slowly move away. Okay, was that a violent move? No. Imagine I'm standing there and I go, you'd be like, what the fuck happened? Right? That's a violent move. That's a completely fucking, it's like, right? Like, that's a violent move. So you would see something, you're like, that's not normal. That's like, he went from standstill to just fucking ran. Like a UFO is a violent move, you know, right here. Like, so that's what I mean by violent moves. The violence of the move of the volatility is telling me, yeah, this has all the hallmarks of a katana. But the fact that it already went up and tapped this is, we see if it breaks through that level, because this move might just already be done, right? This is what you got to remember. Like, one of the things about katanas is, like, you're like, oh, it's like edging, where you're like, oh, here we go, fuck. Right? It's like you get right there, but you might not. This move might just be done now. Well, let's see what. Oh wow! Look. I just put this line down on the last stream. Look. It like, oh, it didn't touch my line. Sorry. It was like micro pennies off the line. I fucked it up. Sorry, guys. My bad. Apologies. I'll be better next time. But it has gone up there and tapped it, right? Gone up, made a bit of a base, gone parabolic, tapped it, pulled back. The positive momentum has had one wave, has had a second wave. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a third wave, but that third wave since it tends to be a smaller momentum wave, it might just be the one that goes up again and taps it. So there is a chance that this move is done. And if at the same time as that happening, this move has gone down and smashed through a level, got people to sell who are dumb enough to set sell orders right here. Like, people are like, should I sell orders? I'm like, yeah, you should. If you're asking me that question, you should, please. You should just transfer the money to my wallet if you want. That's easier than me having to take it like this from you, right? No. Like, orders are one of the biggest ways to... let's not blanket statement things, okay? If you're going to, like, the way we'll have a whole profit taking piece, but the way I set orders is I set them well below the previous levels. If I want to sell, I'm going to sell. If I'm thinking of selling at like 62 because this is the level, then if I want to exit, I exit at like 59, 50, 58.9 because it's far away enough from a whole level that, but it still might get hit, right? They still might go down and tap my order and then run away on me. So you have to like leave enough of a gap to let the market breathe. Like 56. It takes a lot of money to go from 60 to 56. They're probably not going to take it down there. If that's a move that just has a candle like this, that smashes through a level and then runs away on you in some capacity. Also, that feeling of it's going to run away on me, this is not the environment where it's going to run away on you. Right? Relax. It's not going anywhere. Like all those people that were messaging me here, are we going to get in? Fuck. It's going to run. No, it's not. It's just meant to trick you into it. All that it was doing here was riding the middle of the channel, right? So that's the point. Maybe this move is done. Maybe it smashed through this. Maybe now they're going to turn around, let it bounce, and let it have a bit of a relief. Does it go back up here with a move like this? Probably not. But does it then make a little flag, hang out until about maybe June 12th, 13th or something, and then the stock market crashes and goes with it? Maybe. So maybe the move is done, maybe it's not. At least the volatility is saying that it has hit the level that follows a trend that I drew from before on the linear chart. Ethereum's volatility going straight up. Bam. Although when you look at the volatility momentum, like this is what the levels of momentum that we had last time in the Katana. This is the levels of momentum we have now. So the momentum on the daily is just starting. Just because this move is violent doesn't mean, this kind of momentum, it's hard for it to just stop and turn around. So that then lends credence to the idea that it should continue further up. But the violence of this move means if it's already moved this much, if it's already at these levels from standstill now, and this momentum wave gets as big as this one, then I wouldn't be surprised if we actually smash through these levels. I wouldn't be surprised if we go all the way up to this 140 level. Let's just put a line there just so I sound cool when it happens. You know what? Maybe it hits this level. Maybe it hits this level. Maybe it hits this level. Yeah, cover your bases. Okay. I didn't expect this stream to have sound effects. Well, listen, don't expect. YouTube is filled with turbo autists. Man, I love that term. Turbo autists. Hopefully not the bottom. Definitely not the bottom. There are many things, I'm not sure about anything, but the probability that this is not the bottom is very, 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 very high. Why? Because I have not got those calls yet. Trust me, I get bottom calls, which is like tears and panic from people who then they'll be like, can I hire you now? Those are the calls I get. Hey, are you still providing that service, that consulting service that I never signed up for because I didn't want to spend $5,000 at the time? I have now lost $2 million. Now can I pay you $5,000? No, you cannot, because it's done now. The game is done now. Like, check this out. People have a very, very misunderstanding. Yeah. People have a very, very misunderstanding of the doing of the trading of the marketings. Okay? Because it's not about how much you make. It is not about how much you make. Smart money does not give a fuck about how much they make. The best money does not care about how much they make. That is a fool's errand. It's all about how much you lose. And if you lost a lot, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? By the way, I'm now building out an academy for excellency. You guys are getting a preview of this academy. Each one of the talks will have a page that accompanies it that will break down what we speak about and lay it out in black and white for you and give you beautiful. This is still being developed. It'll give you beautiful visualizations. It'll be big enough for all of the, not old people, but yeah, you're fucking old, bro. Relax. Literally, your skin is falling off of your face. Okay, you're old. The old people can read it. All of our lovely old people can read it. I love you guys. That's a joke. Relax. My skin's gonna fall off too. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. You know. Please don't stretch. Please don't stretch it back and fucking tear your neck open and do that thing where your neck starts to do that. Please don't do that. We love your skin. Okay. But it's big enough for people to be able to read. It literally lays everything out in black and white. But most importantly, it has these visuals that visually lay out descriptions of what we're talking about, so you have a innate understanding, a visual understanding. This is the Atreides talk. Tells you what does green mean, yellow, red, how does the moving averages work. But what I want to show you is this. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you don't lose. Because if you lose 5%, then you have to make 5% to make it back. If you lose 10%, you have to make 11% to make it back. If you lose 25%, you have to make 33% to make it back. If you lose 50%, you have to make 100% to make it back. If you lose 70%, you have to make 2.5x, 2.3x to make it back. If you lose 90% of your value, you have to make 900% to make it back. Okay? Focus on just not losing the money, the losses. That's what a Atreides is built for, to avoid losses, to not sit through bear markets, right? That's why people contacted me and they're like, I'm 30% down. Should I sell and put it into excellency? I ran this calculation in my head and I was like, well, we just have to make them 43% to make it back. If I'm in that situation, I definitely sell. If I sell with the 30% loss and it drops 50% and I get twice as many crypto, twice as much assets, I have now not just made my money back, I have made more than that because my assets will run up double. I have twice as many assets, I'll run up double. If I have twice as many assets, I only have to make half this to make it back. Even if I just got the same amount of assets, I just have to catch it 30% lower to buy the same amount of assets I had when I started initially, because it's 30% cheaper. I can buy it for 30% less money. But in most countries, I can take that 30% loss. I can write it off on my taxes, tell the government when I make this 30% next time, you can't charge taxes on it. I have that tax loss where I can make money. I can go and buy more crypto, I can make more money. I can buy it lower, I can make more money. So I actually make more money for selling at a loss with our strategy at the beginning when you enter excellency, right? When somebody was, we had people down 50%. Are we going to make 100%? Yeah. Yeah. Duh. Like, what are we, retards? Yeah. Yeah. Or do you want to then just continue writing it down, hodl it until it's 80% down, then keep hodling it where it goes 4x from there, just so that you can get back to break even. And in the middle of it, have panic, meltdowns, cry, divorce, get ulcers, cancers. Cancer's bad. I'm not getting cancer, bro. Fuck off. So that's the idea, okay? But regardless, you guys are going to have access to all this soon. We're going to put up a whole academy, a publicly open academy. No, I'm not going to ask you for your email. I hate that shit. Give me your email and I'll give you the stuff. So then I can send you off. Fuck off. It's going to be open and free. Just click. Here it is. Enjoy it. And then I got to change all these signs. Don't join excellency. Okay? So are we focused on not losing money? You described my experience with buying Sui. Yeah, everybody does that, right? Everybody does that. Been there, done that, been there, right? Looks like open interest going down. Maybe bounce is just people closing shorts, fear and greed hit lows. Yeah, maybe. So let's look at that, the Predator Index that I made to see what kind of risk we have in the futures markets, what kind of leverage risk we have right now in the thing. In the art of simplifying it down, and instead of me having to go search 1,000 things and then try to compute backwards what it is, we just actually I just like to look at it as a cohesive indicator, and that is our Predator Index. Leverage isn't really flushing out. You see this? The leverage risk is actually going up right now. It's actually getting to elevated levels. Still not too elevated, so I wouldn't be surprised if this continues to go further up, but it's not flushing out. Sure, there's traders closing shorts and things, but that is just usually the market manipulators, let's say, will push the market down to a level where it causes liquidations and then use their liquidity to actually dump the markets further. But in this case, when this line is high, leverage risk is high. When this line is low, leverage risk is low. So remember back here, the February crash. First of all, 10-10 wiped out so much leverage from the system that people did not come back until March with serious size. Leverage is high. While we're here, might as well check the... let's check this one. Recovering from a Bitcoin bear. This is actually one of my... That's not how it's supposed to look. Interesting. Okay, let me pull up another version of it. Why am I typing? Glassnode recovering from my Bitcoin bear. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to look. Great, fantastico. Okay, so this is our, let's say, topping index, right? Same way Real Vision has like a confluence of different indicators that they use for a topping index. This is our topping index. And when it's dark blue like this, that means all 8 of the indicators are pointing towards, are all positive. All conditions have been met, right? When it's dark blue like this, that means all conditions have been met. Light blue means some number of these conditions. I think it's 5 out of 8 have been met. It's supposed to say here somewhere. I think it's 5 out of 8 conditions met. Light blue. Simple. Light blue, we're going up. Dark blue, we're going up, but we're not going to continue to go up. At some point, it's going to end. Change from light blue to dark blue, you should have been in the market at the beginning of the light blue. Change from dark blue to light blue, the fundamentals underneath the market are starting to turn in a way that are signaling that there should be a top. The way tops happen is this. The way the actual tops happen in dark blue. They don't happen in light blue. That's why this was not a bull run. This was not a bull run. This was a bull running. This was not a run of bulls. All of our bulls did not run. A bull ran. Well, a few of the bulls ran, like XRP, Solana, few of the bulls ran, but it was not a bull run, like where we have a true bull run. This is a true bull run. 2017 was dark blue, topped out of dark blue. 2020 topped out of dark blue. No, this was not the top, like we discussed last time. Dark blue was the top. This was the top, right? This was not a bull run, clearly, because at the top, these conditions weren't even met. That's why Bitcoin did this weird thing. It artificially inflated to where it inflated to, and we ended up with the situation that we're in right now. When the actual bull run happens, when all things run or all the good ones run, and we have the actual activity happen, this will be dark blue. And when it's dark blue, we go into. By the time it gets dark blue, especially for us, the Katana catchers, by the time it gets dark blue, I'm going to put out a signal saying now is the beginning of the time that you should take your lifestyle chips. Right? You should, not just lifestyle chips. We're going to be sitting on some kind of multiple at that time, and a message will go out. And if you're concierge, we will talk to you and say, hey, remember when you brought us that $1 million? You said by the time it turns into 4, you're going to take the mill out. Take it out now, because all conditions are met. You turned 1 into 4. Let's just not lose that 1. Please take it out and put it somewhere else. And then the next question is always, yeah, but I don't have anywhere else to put it. It's like, don't worry. Do you want a villa? Do you want real estate? Do you want a business? Do you want, there's all these cohesive capital sinks that we're going to have to put money somewhere where we just don't lose all of it. But at the beginning of this dark blue, when it happens properly, you'll see those signals go out. Now, it's not just at the beginning of this dark blue. There'll be a lot of other confluences. Okay, so right now, we are, and of course, they faked everybody out by right before this crash, making it light blue, so people think, oh my God, I'm missing everything. I'm gonna lose all my life savings. We obviously didn't fall for that. So this is what it looks like. Resolution, let's go down to 1-day resolution and see where we're at now. Okay. Yeah, right now, well, that's what makes it look weird. Right now, we are at a place where most of the conditions are not met, and it's white. And you see bear markets are white. Bear markets, it's easy to see. It's like, is it a bear market? Is it a bear market? You tell me. Oh, nobody can tell you when it's a bear market. Right? So, yeah, that's where we are. Then the psychology. If we have to look at the psychology. We have Bitcoiners collectively in a state of fear now. Okay, let's actually pull this up. This is what we were looking at before. Yeah, long-term holders just went into fear. Short-term holders we're not even looking at. You know where they are. They're never not in fear. Solana long-term holders were already in a state of fear. But let's just look at the collective. Okay, so this is Bitcoin Newpol, net unrealized profit and loss. Collectively, the entire Bitcoin space is now in a state of fear. Right? This orange means fear. They just entered. Collectively. Long-term holders just entered fear. Just like dipped their toes into a state of fear now. So this is the beginning of this as it lends itself to the idea that this is the fear crash, because short-term holders always lose money. Nobody cares. I mean, not nobody cares. We really care. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you guys going to do your jobs so we can get rich from you. But the long-term holders are the ones who actually need to dump for the actual crash to happen. right? Like this past one was a anxiety crash. The February crash was an anxiety crash. They entered anxiety right before the crash, right when it turned, and the crash itself was all in a state of anxiety. And then they stayed in a state of anxiety the whole time. Now we have entered a state of fear, almost like it exactly was back here. And now, okay, so they had entered a state of fear on January 31st, and the crash finished on February 5th. 5 days. Yeah, the other analysis said 4 days. This says 5 days. Okay. We've entered now, basically, today. Today's the first day. June 3rd is the day that we're entering. June 8th, if I had to look at it from this perspective, which should be the bottom. And it's funny how it's the same story, like exactly the same story, exactly playing out, exactly how it did before. It's not even that history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. No, it literally repeats. History plays the same song again and again. And people sit there and put their hands in the air like they just don't care, right? So there you go. Psychology is telling us long-term holders have now entered the space for them to experience the fear crash. Like the anxiety crash, people sell a bit because they're anxious. The fear crash, people sell a decent bit because they're scared. The capitulation crash, people sell everything because they're panicked. They're capitulating. They have given up. They're depressed and they're running, right? That's why they get worse and worse and worse as the crashes. Cool. Le cool. Oops, wrong button. Wrong button. Solhana, as we lovingly call it in India, Solhana. Solana long-term holders have been in a state of capitulation the whole time. No, Solana collectively, all of Solana. Now think about that. On the other ones, the collective one tends to be much better than on Bitcoin, Ethereum. The collective view tends to be much better than the short-term view because most people are long-term in there. Solana has most people are short-term because they're meme coiners, right? They made their Solana from meme coins, or they made it from scamming you guys in DFTU if your name is Lance and Penny and their friends. Like, I'll tell you a secret. I'll tell you something. I actually didn't say this on that RV ban talk. I suspected they were scammers just from the way they were operating inside of it, because I was in the group when they were building DFTU. I was one of the not core team, but I was one of the advisors. And the way they were operating, the way they were talking was scammy, and amateur. So I was like, okay, either these guys are really amateurs or they're actual scammers, right? And they're building a meme coin, so they're probably scammers. And so then I went to the first Real Vision gathering and I met them, and the moment I spoke to Lance, he's a clear fucking scammer. He's just you have to be blind to not see that. And Penny's energy is like, it's like burning coal. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to stay away from these guys. But then there was this guy, their friend, that they brought in. And Raul announced it on stage, hey, this guy's doing this thing that I'm about to tell you. Go do this thing with him. Right? This guy was there with a laser scanner, and he was scanning people and giving them their likeness in the metaverse. He was giving them a copy of their likeness in the metaverse. Full body scan. I mean, like a proper radar style, scan. The best photorealistic scan of your image he was taking. And Raul was like, hey, it's cool. We're putting people into the metaverse. You guys should go talk to this guy and give him your image. I walked up to him and I was like, what's up? And he's like, oh, hey, I'm you talk to him for 4 seconds. You're like, oh God, this guy's going to fuck a lot of people over. And he's like, yeah, I'm from a company. I have a company. We have the likeness of Johnny Cash. We bought the likeness of Johnny Cash. We have the likeness of Elvis. We're going to tokenize celebrities and we're going to release them. And I was like, wow, what a brilliant idea, right? That's a pretty genius move, actually. When? In like a couple months. This was 2 years ago. In a couple months, we're gonna do it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, yeah, I'll get a scan. I want a 3D version of myself. He starts to scan my face, and I was like, hold on, who owns this image? And he just continues. And I was like, hey, fuckface, stop. Who owns this image? He's like, I'll give it to you. You'll have it. He's like, I'll give it to you. You'll have it. And I was like, that was not my question. Who owns the rights to the image that you scan? And he's like, we do. I was like, what? He's like, we own the rights to the image. I was like, I don't own the rights to my own image? He's like, no. I'm like, dude, delete it. Delete my image right now. And it was like barely even, half, like not even half, like barely even scanned. I was like, delete my image right now. He's like, I'll delete it. And I was like, so I turned on my phone. I have the video. I turned on my phone, selfie mode. And I was like, what's your name? He was like, don't, whatever. And I was like, delete my image right now. Live. Delete my fucking image right now. And he goes into the computer and I make a video of him deleting it. And of course he deleted it. It's in the trash can. He could bring it back. But I have video proof that I asked him to delete my image. That's what I mean by a scam. Like, these guys are not fucking around. And Lance and Penny run their leads of the Discord community. Most people don't even know that because they never actually come in there. But they're leaders of the Discord community. They're at the table with Raul. They plan out what to do with the community. They plan who to kick out, right? They bring in their scammer friends. He definitely doesn't have. It's not like he's a scammer. Raul's a scammer that he knows, like, oh, go fuck yourself over. He's just too busy, right? When his fucking some snakes come up to him that are part of his thing and they go da, 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 they end up doing it. But there's so many people there that got scanned and they got scammed, right? And these are high net worth fucking hedge fund managers and stuff. If they knew this guy was stealing their image, they would ruin him, but they don't, right? And the Johnny Cash thing never launched. Nothing ever launched. So just be careful. That was my fucking experience. But I'm also not the type of person to take shit. So anyways. That's why I'm like, now we got to train on scams. I'm going to give you guys full frameworks on scams. We're also going to create a Claude skill for you to be able to go in there and ask it all the details and get it to run a market analysis deep dive, like world-class hedge fund level market analysis, personalized analysis, all that stuff. You'll be able to do it on me. You'll be able to do it on everybody. You go in there, you go, hey, this is the person. This is how I know them. Here are the details. Who are they? Find their background. What have they done? Da, 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 da. Does it seem like a scam? Is this project a scam? Here's the tokenomics, all that stuff, right? Because it really, really fucking pisses me off that there's these snakes that, like, they know they're vulnerable people who don't understand technology, don't understand the details, and then they go take advantage of them. On a positive note, I have left. I was kicked out. That's the positive note. I thought we were supposed to look at the Katana, guy. This isn't a fucking personal fucking whatever hour, Get back to the point, bud. We don't pay you to tell us your trauma, Sim. We pay you to show us the candles, damn it. Okay. Sorry, Mom. God. Never bring your mom into the fund. Look at that. This is Bitcoin. It bounced, went down, faked everybody out, and is running up. Now, does that mean much? No, it's on the 50-minute chart. So, like, this is just also normal where things bounce around and things, go to a certain place. But it looks like nothing. Like, you just have to wait this out. Okay. Yeah. Katana looks like it's on vacation for a day, probably. But like, this move isn't panicked enough to Katana. Like, I'm just doing these just as a Katana watch. One, we get to hang out, and it's kind of like a, great exercise for us to do it. Secondly, this is literally what I do. I watch it no matter what, just because I have some kind of prejudgment around or like I have some framework that I'm leading or a possibility that I'm leaning towards. Doesn't mean I just don't sit there and watch it, because anything can happen any moment. 1010 taught me that. Anything can happen any moment. Bitcoin could go to negative $37,000 any moment, in my perspective. It would be super normal if that happened for me. Exactly. Welcome to the club. We're all watching it all day, right? So you sit there and just watch it, and also learn about all these dynamics. Like, because we don't sit there and watch a 15-minute chart. We don't look at all the. I'm not sitting there looking at each wave or every single thing. Like, I kind of, once you get used to it, you just look at it, scan it, and it just tells you what it wants to tell you. But to sit here and literally watch the price action, literally watch the motion, then be able to share all of this. I can't write a script to tell you all these things. This is the script, the unscripted script. Okay. See, the excellency index is below. Collectively, it's below. This is what matters to me. If there's one thing that matters, that is the truth of the chart of excellency, is this. It went below. Sure, it's coming back up, but it's below that level. That means Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Doge collectively combined together are below their level, right? Collectively. If you evilly the collect, they're below. Okay. Shut up, Shim. The fact that it's below means I'm going to move this line. Perfect. Problem solution. I just moved the line from the body of the candle to the wick of the candle, because that is the ultimate level, right? It did go down that below. There was insane amounts of support right here. So now we move it down here. Now you can see, okay, the excellency index is actually above. It's actually standing on that, standing on a very thin leg, but it's standing on that. So now 330 billion is that mark. On Bitcoin side, let's move it down here. Now 60,001 is the number. Not 60,000. That would be too crazy. 60,001. Yeah. So we are not below the final critical level, right? But the indicator itself, the hybrid indicator is almost bottomed out. The momentum does it go any lower than that normally? Momentum is basically bottomed out. Like, we're teetering on the edge. The 12-hour momentum hasn't printed a green dot, which means it hasn't turned. 8-hour momentum has printed a green dot, which means negative momentum is slowing down. 1-hour momentum has printed 2 green dots. This is the thing. This big green dot is not what I'm talking about. The big green dot is a buy dot. This little green dot is the one that I'm talking about. So it has printed that. So the momentum negative momentum has started to slow down. Yeah. And again, the violence of this move. It's not that it's violent per se. It's more the sparring of this move. But we had this move down, and this is a pretty strong move up. So that if there is going to be a bounce, it should go up for some time. The momentum resets, indicators reset. Things take time. Things take time to happen. What's the level for BTC that we should maintain to continue our lower bear market theory? Probability stays below 70K. At this point, I'm not even thinking like that. There's no below this and that. Like, I'm not a person who has levels with where what do you guys call it? Confirmation. You don't call it confirmation. What do you always say, Bernardo? You need to have invalidation. Like, I don't have a price level of invalidation. I have a panic level of invalidation. And panics can't be invalidated. Like, history doesn't just all of a sudden stop happening. People don't all of a sudden stop panicking. Wars don't all of a sudden stop. Oil doesn't all of a sudden magically appear, right? All this, like, if when you're asking me a level, I don't care or look at the levels. I'm not looking most of the time at the crypto markets. Like, that 97% of the time, I open the market. I literally have a widget on my phone that shows. I'm not going to show you my phone. A widget on my phone that has the crypto price, and I just refresh it every time I open the phone. So I'm looking at just the Bitcoin price most of the time. Once a day, maybe twice a day, depending on how much action's happening. I'll look at the charts and scan the charts. And most of the time, I'm not looking at Bitcoin. That's the problem. Everybody's sitting there looking at the ocean or at the puddle, wondering which way it's going to go. Which line do I draw on it, and where does it go? Where do I get invalidated in this pond? I'm not doing that. I'm looking at the ocean, and I'm seeing everything around, right? And from there, I'm projecting. So we should maintain to continue our lower bear market theory. Like what level? Preferably with 70K. Preferably below 120K is a bear market, right? Because you're up. Maybe a bounce goes all the way up there and then it turns around. I don't know. Maybe a bounce goes to $125,999 and turns around. Yeah, anything could happen. Like for me, I don't have those levels. For you, okay, let me think through being a trader. Let me make up a level because you have asked the question. You've been brave enough to ask the question. I would say if it turned around 97,000, that's when it's not a bear market. Because I always put my levels one step behind. People would put their levels like somewhere here. They'd say, oh yeah, if it goes back above 70K, we're not in a bear market. How? Like we were just above 70K and it's a bear market. And if this turns around and goes above 70K, oh, all of a sudden it's not a bear market? No, absolutely not. If it turns around and goes above $97,000 and $98,384 and it breaks through that and it continues further and it smashes through these levels, now it's verifiably not a bear market. But that's not a trading strategy. Now, for me, that's not an investing strategy, right? Like, yay, I have confirmation it's not a bear market. Let me buy it at 99,000. Right? That's just ridiculous to me. Sim, my momentum indicators on the 8th, 12th, and daily are on historical lows. Oh, 8-hour, 12-hour, and daily are on historical lows. Yeah, it looks like momentum's bottoming out in some capacity. But then again, this is the thing about watching this price action. It always looks like. It looks like the war's done. It looks like this. It looks like that. It looks like that. God, I can't wait to get my teeth fixed properly. So I'm going to do this. And I'm talking like this all the time. Hi, guys. It looks like. It always looks like that. In the middle of the price action, it always looks like that. So I just sit and let it play out. Good thing is these daily candles take time to print. But even on the daily, we are at levels which are scary, scary levels. And before the SpaceX, if I put myself in the shoes of a Wolf of Wall Street, I would not want to tank Bitcoin right before the IPO. Because the Bitcoiners are also the Bitcoiners are the ones he's giving 30% of his assets to, or his shares to. They're reserved for retail investors, 30% of the SpaceX shares. So I would not crash Bitcoin fully before the SpaceX launch because that would scare people. The crypto heads are the ones who are the degens that are actually they lose the most amount of money, right? So to disillusion that cohort is just not wise as a wolf, right? To then take some profits, but first of all, pump it up to here, take their money from here to here, and then have a bounce, and then take the money again is more their modus operandi. You don't think today was panicky enough? That rebound definitely wasn't violent enough? No. No. Today's nothing. This whole thing is nothing. This is just, no, it's not panicky enough. Like, here's a way to see panic on these candles, okay? That you can't see. Here's a way to see panic on these candles. Look at the size of these candles, okay? These lines. Look at it closely. All around. Now, you can get a feel for the average size of the candle. Like the guy who I learned trading from, Trader Cobb, he used to say it best. He said, if you're walking on the street with your wife and you have dogs walking by constantly, you're walking on the street, many dogs are walking by, you mostly don't notice them, right? You'll see the dog, they pass by. You see the dog, pass by. It's like the dog's this big, 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 this big. There's an average size of dogs that you see, normal dogs, and they're walking by, and you don't really comment because they're just dogs. But then this dog comes by that's fucking 2 meters tall. And you're gonna go, honey, hold on. Look at this fucking dog. Look at the size of that dog, babe. Right? You would remark on the size of the dog because it's an extremely large dog compared to all the dogs you have seen walk by in your life, but also on this walk. Look at the candles here. These are bigger dogs. We have bigger dogs. We got some German Shepherds coming around. These are, we got Chihuahuas. We got a couple pugs here. We got, but you have to look at it as relative, right? We got some like whatever medium-sized dogs, small dogs, small medium. Oh, that's a sizable German Shepherd. Oh, that's a big old one of those bull mastiffs. Okay. German Shepherd. Okay, well, German Shepherds, maybe another bull mastiff, smaller bull mastiff. Whoa, honey, look at the size of this candle. Look at the size of this dog, babe. That's like 2 bull mastiffs. That is a panic. Now, this was also a panic, right? That was a panic in the middle of the panic. So you could have mistakenly ended up trying to catch this one if you haven't been here for longer than, it's been alive. But this definitely was a massive dog. Clearly was the biggest dog around, and it's so big that it's the size of 2 bull mastiffs. Look at, you see these candles? See the next 2 candles? It's like, this is your size of a big dog before, and then something comes along that's the size of 2 bull mastiffs. That is panic. In a single day to have in 3 days to have a cascading liquidation ending in a blow off, not even a blow off bottom, but effectively a blow off bottom, with a massive candle, with people panicking, with my phone flooded with messages. What is going on? People who never listen to crypto, sending me messages, People being like, Sam, how's the portfolio doing? Like the snarky fucks, all of them messaging, that is a panic. So then compared to that, or before that, those were big dogs. Look at the size of that dog, ma. Look at the fucking size of this dog. Even relatively look at the size of that dog. Even compared to this, look at the size of this dog. That was 10-10. It stands out clearly. Does this stand out against all of that? No. It's just German Shepherds. Oh, you're right. I just want to go to sleep. I just want an excuse to go to sleep. These days have been intense. Well, you can go to sleep. It's going to be fine. You just might not get rich. Today, my uncle sent me a message. He is a reliable bottom indicator. Okay, there you go. Yeah, there is a pretty big possibility that this isn't it, right? Because now we're fighting the strongest part of these levels, which is this zone down here, right? Yeah. So let's see how that goes. But these Katana Watch streams are just going to be that. Most of the time, it's actually just sitting here trying to figure out what's going on. So, what other questions you guys got? Anything you want to cover while we wait for the price action to finish? I guess these are good perspective to take it as well. I haven't showed you guys these for some time. Thank you, sir. This is fun for me as well. Plus, if I'm going to spend the whole day sitting here smoking cigarettes and watching, might as well just hang out with you guys. This is also this also is going to kind of become that, offices have the open door policy where you can go talk to the CEO, you can hang out, ask questions. Yeah, brother. Sweet dreams. Dream well. We'll be on Katana watch. If anything happens, I'll fly over and I will wake you up. It'll just take me 36 hours on a flight, but I'll do my best. Sweet dreams. Thanks for being here. It's also a good time to then get all the pictures together while we're waiting, hanging out anyway, right? This is a great reflection that I like to look at. MVRVZ score. Actually, it was fun for me today too. Eager to enter at that low. Yeah, it depends on the strategy, right? Like if your strategy is like you're a shorter term trader, this bounce, I mean, depends on how short term you are, but this bounce looks like it's a pretty decent bounce to catch. Somebody just made a bunch of money on it from that move. If you're like a medium term, if you're a swing trader, obviously you need some confirmation. You need a little bit more data to come in. If you are a investor like us, like active investor, especially with our strategy, it just has not. The world hasn't panicked the way that it needs to happen. If you're a long-term investor like a hodler or a DCAer, then now's definitely a time to start DCAing, right? But because is Bitcoin expensive or cheap is very well represented on this chart, right? Here we can see this is MVRV Z-score, which is market value to realized value Z-score. Z-score is just a way of showing the data. When it's in this green zone, it's a ridiculous, unbelievable, once in a half a decade discount. When it is in this red zone, it's a ridiculous, once in a half decade selling opportunity. When it's the lower, the better to buy, the higher, the better to sell. Now, looking at this, you can already see, this is what I'm saying, this was the top. This 65K was the top back here. Here, the other indicator was dark blue. This MVRVZ score was topped out. Price was at only 48 at the time. No, 57 at the time. It topped out at 65, but the indicators had all pointed towards the top already happening by this time. Now, by this time, you wouldn't know. You'd need the data to print. But by this time, by the next peak printing, you would know. I knew because I was looking at the stuff. By the time it got to 69K on the next top, you could clearly see that's not a top. That is... okay, sure, that's a price top, but that's clearly a signal to get the fuck out top, right? Not we're going to go to 100K top, like Paul Ral was saying, right? I know you don't short. I short. I made so much on the dump from 82K, now waiting for prime spot entry. Yeah, good on you, man. Like there's many different ways to make money in this market. Whatever game you're good at, play that game. Like shorting isn't my game. But there's a lot of people I know that are making money on shorts. But now, is Bitcoin cheap or is it expensive according to this perspective? Well, it's clearly cheap. If I'm a DCA person, this is definitely a place where I start DCAing and then I start to DCA down into the rest of it. For us, is it a Katana to catch? It doesn't really show up on this chart per se, but as soon as it enters down into this zone, into this green zone, it's even more confirmation to say, hey, now we're at this point, if we buy it and it goes lower, we absolutely got a discount. Like this, out of these crashes, we are in this part of the Katana right now, or this is the crash that we're in right now, right there. Because this was this is the actual crash. This is fourth crash, right? It was first one back here, second one, third one, fourth one from the top. We are now going through our fourth leg down. That dipped down into this level. Then there was another drop right there. It looks small now, but percentage-wise, that was a serious drop. That was the fifth final blow-off capitulation bottom that happened. It happened in this zone. Back here, the final crash basically happened here. Well, technically that was the first one that brought it into that zone. But regardless, the bottom basically happened in that zone again. So I wouldn't be surprised if the bottom happens in that zone again. Now, this is market value compared to realized value, right? Market value compared to realized value. This is just the same thing, basically. Instead of a z-score, it's turned into another thing. When you look at the long-term holders, MVRV, by the time it becomes blue, that's when the long-term holders have even given up. They're selling it below the market, the realized value. And the realized value is this blue light, right? When it's below this blue line, that's when it's like fire sale. Fire sale. The first crash here, tapped the realized value, right? The second crash was below, finished everybody off. Right now, that realized value is at $48,700. So in this next leg, if I had to put a number on it, I think we go to $48,729. This is $48,731 is where the line is. If I had to put a number on it, I would say $48,729 would be where this goes now when this leg finishes. Fairly confident we break 60. 56 should be easy target. 48 has tons of liquidity, might have multiple bear flags below 60. Who knows? But we will get it. Yeah, like agreed. Realized value is at 48. That's why there's so many orders there, because institutions love buying at that price. Not even institutions. Smart institutions love buying at that price. And if this leg just goes to 48, we will buy it. That is the promise. Not a promise. It's not a promise. That is the strategy. Okay, so now this is multiple realized prices put together. Let's look at some history first. The red is short-term holder realized price. The orange is Bitcoin's average total realized price, and the blue is long-term holder realized price. At the final leg of the bear market, the short-term holder realized price goes below the long-term holder realized price. So you can see the red line goes below the other lines. Here, even the red line went below the other lines, right? So now, considering that the red line is not below the blue line, the blue line is at 48,731. That's what we were just looking at. Bitcoin's total realized price is at 54,015. But the long-term holder realized price is the pain point. So anything below 48,731, well, 48,700. Anything below $48,700 is a massive discount on this thing. I can't even believe I'm saying those words. For a guy who started back when it was $5, I can't believe I'm saying $48,700 is it is a good price. Ay. Even technical targets give structures are in 30s and 40s. 50s seems easy. Personally, not waiting for lower than 50, but yeah, seems like a good strategy. Yeah. Like anything below 50 is is a wow. If we only catch this leg and we buy below 50 and it goes down to like 37 and it bounces and it runs away, and obviously we're buying the other coins when it's at 50, but still, what a discount. Something was $126,000 and we got it for 48, and then it's going to turn around and go to 150. I got it for a third of that. And when it does a 3x, the other things do like a 10, 20, some do 5, some do 7, some do 10, some do 20x. So, and then with our strategy, we multiply that. That is an amazing deal as far as I'm concerned. But that's what we're looking out for. On-chain cost basis. All the rest of this stuff, not really worth looking at. There's also just too many things to look at. That's another thing that happens in this space. Okay, so has anybody here been waiting to sell? Please tell me no. Because if anybody's been sitting on the sidelines, still you're waiting to sell, like, that's hilarious. I tried to send a link for balanced price last time, but YouTube probably blocking it. Yeah, the links don't work here. You have to DM me the links. But even that, I won't open the links. At this point, I'm too paranoid. I just won't open links. Like, you have to send a photo of it. But if you send it, sure, I'll scan it with an AI, with our Palantir AI, and then I'll open it. I'm just kidding. I don't have Palantir AI. Relax. That's a joke. CIA, FBI, ABC. I'm kidding about that. I don't have Palantir. It's a we thing, not an I thing. But yeah, send me the what you were looking at. Sold at way higher price than when you said so. Let's fucking go, bro. That's the key. Sell high. Buy low. Buy low is really important, but it means nothing if we don't sell high. Okay, let's go back and check the price action again. Yep, we're still bouncing. Momentum is resetting. We're getting a little bit of a positive wave. Let's see how far that goes. Money flow bleeding out is starting to slow down a little bit, but not enough data to be able to really say what's going on. 8 hour, like we had said, has already bottomed out. 1 hour's bottomed out. 15 is telling a bit of a story. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll leave it there for now. I don't want to make this a 17-hour thing again. If we break below 60K, then we'll jump on again. Until then, you guys got any final questions before we close this thing off temporarily? That way some of us can go sleep. You guys can go sleep. I can go do a few things. When it breaks below 60K, we'll do a 60K stream. Do you guys have any questions about excellency? Do you guys have does everything make sense? Have you guys already signed up for your dashboard? That's super important. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, if you're live streaming right now, if you have not set up your dashboard, you have to set up 2 APIs. Okay, there's one trading API that we do, and now we created a new dashboard for the app management API. Please check your emails. If it's not in your email, check your spam. Sometimes it goes to spam. Market is not spam. Market is important in Gmail or wherever you are. You have to set up a second API. It's just for tracking so that we can have clarity on the referrals, on the entries, the billing, the payments, all that kind of stuff. And you get a much cleaner dashboard. So please make sure you go in there. It was amazing hanging out with you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you guys. And let's all pray for the 60K stream to start ASAP. Until then, stay legendary. Love you guys. We will exit, actually, on that beautiful piece that we started with. Thank you for being here. What a good life. If you have the privilege to be sitting wherever you are in the world, in front of a device, on whatever day it is today. What day is it? Thursday? It's Thursday here. It's Wednesday for some of you guys. On a weekday. If you have the luxury to sit there for hours to listen to violins and rants, and you have a good roof over your head, you're healthy, you're in a prosperous country, you've had all the opportunities in life. Hopefully you have loved ones. If you have, hopefully you have one friend, one like real friend. If you have those things, you are like 99% of the world genuinely wishes they were you. If you make more than $36,000 a year US, you are in the 1% of the world. 99% of people wish they were you. It's really easy to always be looking up. The elites, the rich people. I want to get rich when I turn my 500,000 into 5 million. That's when I'll finally be happy. That's when the stress will go away. That's when I won't think about money. That's just not how it works. It's not how it works. You are 1 out of 100. You are a chosen 1 out of 100 that has been gifted what you have. And partially that's why I'm like, the world needs a punch in the gut. Sometimes we have to have everything be taken away from us to truly appreciate what we had in the first place. You don't know what you have until it's gone. And for the people who are abundant today, for us to always be looking at some other place, there's no there. If you're not happy today, you're not going to be happy then. You're going to be much more miserable then. It's an internal thing. It's not an external thing. But to sit there and really feel into, okay, hey, this is who I am. 99% of people are not below me, but in this perspective, if I look down towards everybody who wishes they had as much prosperity as me, 99 out of 100 are wish they were me. I don't wish I was them. Many of the people, the billionaires, often wish they were you, wish they had the time, wish they could do this. They also don't have that. And there's this sweet spot in between. It's so easy to just always be lost in the getting and the going and all that stuff. And until the health gets taken, until the money gets taken, until all these things happen, we don't even get the opportunity to sit there and think about, hey, I'm super prosperous. I'm doing what I'm doing. So just please take a moment to just appreciate all the abundance you have in your life, all the love you have in your life, all the health you have in life, all connections, all the money you have in your life, all the prosperity you have in your life. Because that place of gratitude, of vibrating the gratitude to the universe for the abundance that you already have beyond the money and the money, is the frequency that the universe responds to actually give you the money, right? At some point, I'll get around to doing the abundance training for all of us, but just at this specific moment, even if we catch the katana, it won't work unless you let it work, okay? So just let it work. Anyways, back to the music a couple more times before we close it off.